In today's video, we're going to address the overall market once again. It's looking really vulnerable right now, so we're going to discuss what to expect tomorrow. I'm also going to be doing an updates on the stocks that I've mentioned this morning and in yesterday's video, along with sharing with y'all one stock to keep on watch for tomorrow. All right, so let's dive right into the charts. Right off the bat, we got the Nasdaq. Oh, I want a Nasdaq. Usually it's the SPY, but yeah, we're gonna look at the Nasdaq. It's looking very, very vulnerable. I've mentioned that I was expecting a drop, especially this morning with QQQ right here. Right, it opened up lower. And it did drop to 363, but at some points today. Right now, the futures are looking a little bit red. They're down a little bit. Tomorrow, they could be down quite a lot. And we could see another sell-off. Looking at QQQ itself, all right? Y'all see two lines on there. We're going to zoom in. I did see these things on the 1 hour. There is that descending triangle on the charts. We got one here, two retest, and then we had the break right here right at like 2 p.m. We got the break of structure. Right now it's hanging out below it. Best case scenario, this thing doesn't play any games. Best case scenario, and by best case scenario I'm talking about for shorts, obviously. This thing doesn't play any games. It opens up around this price right here, maybe a little bit lower, and then we see a massive drop to 360. Best case scenario, because the structure is looking good, and I don't have a reason to believe that it's fake until it gives me a reason to believe that it's fake, right? So we'll see how it opens though. We'll see how it opens. Tomorrow I am leaning bearish on QQQ because of what I'm seeing right now. We're gonna look at the VIX. I gave you a structure on the VIX. This is the VIX. Yeah, I gave you the structure pre-markets, the ascending triangle, which really convinced me that there was gonna be a sell-off. It was gonna be brutal, like a very choppy sell-off with the market. Very annoying price action. It went up to 20. I did tell y'all 20.50, but it went up to 20. And it's just held there. It still has room to run. The daily chart has room to go all the way up to 21. The more it tests that line up there, the more likely it is to break it. It tested it twice, once and then twice here. All right, and tomorrow there might be a third test where we see it actually go to 21. So that's my thoughts on the VIX. Now let's move on to Microsoft. I gave you guys Microsoft yesterday, and I told y'all that the people who are here will be looking to take their money off the table. Like shortly after I recorded the video, there was a spike, but it was very short-lived. It dropped right back down to 330 again. It's like the stock is given multiple chances for long traders to take their money off. It's quite generous, especially for people who are extra greedy. I'm very hopeful that there will be a massive surge to like 350. I don't think that's going to happen because of everything else that I'm seeing. And I think that it's going to drop to 325 at some point just to retest these lows right here. And that could happen tomorrow. So I am still bearish on Microsoft. And the daily chart is looking kind of vulnerable as well. So I'm not changing my thoughts on it. These individuals slowly taking their money off. Eventually there'll be panic. Eventually. We'll see how it opens. If it opens below 328, there will definitely be a panic. Now, the stock that y'all should be keeping on watch for tomorrow is showing a very simple structure. Very simple but clean structure. That stock is F. All right. And the reason why I want to share F with y'all, let me clean up the charts. We're gonna dive right into the chart. We're gonna zoom in. The reason why is because of this. There is a descending triangle on the charts. It's there. It's clean. I don't have a reason to believe it's fake unless it opens up higher. It's clean. It broke down already. All right. Therefore, keep this on watch for a drop all the way down to like 11.20 right there. All right, descending triangle on the chart, breakdown, watching for a sell-off. Very simple, very straightforward. So watch that one tomorrow, see how it opens. If it opens up at the same price or lower, the odds of a sell-off are good. All right, so now some things that is a bit worrisome, just a little bit worrisome, is the fact that it's very oversold, right? Like, it's been beaten down for quite some time, and there's a lot more room to the, I mean, it's kind of balanced from 3 all the way up to 26. It's hanging out kind of right in the middle, so it has room on both sides. So that's why I'm just looking at these structures as they present themselves. The structure is showing up bearish, even though the stock has been beaten down for quite some time, especially after consolidation period. There is a chance that it could sell off some more. All right, so watch that one for a drop below here. We're gonna switch to the weekly, and the weekly, it's been testing support for more than a year. Again, support is still at that line right here at 11.70. So it tests support, it tests support, it tests support, then test and test again, and then another test right here, and then another test right now. Right now it's kind of hanging out a little bit below it. So again, it's looking very, very vulnerable, along with the overall market in general. That's why I'm sharing this one with you guys. All right, the structure is there, and we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Now, here is something that is looking like something interesting is happening with Netflix. Now, I gave you guys Netflix in last night's video. Maybe even, yeah, it was last night's video. Yeah, on Monday morning. Maybe Monday or Tuesday. One of the two videos that are up. I told y'all the gap at the bottom is going to get filled first before earnings is there. Before earnings is announced, I mean. And so far, it didn't quite fill it completely. But the chances of a bear trap, like just trapping all of the greedy bears, I think I said that specific line in a video. There could be a potential for that kind of trap. And this doesn't surprise me at all. I think they crushed earnings. Some things that contributed to them crushing earnings is the cracking down on the password sharing and cranking up the price for Netflix. And the stock surged on the 5-minute, as you can see right here. All right. Now, the main question is that some of you may have is, where is it gonna go now that it jumped up here? Well, I'm not leaning super bullish on it, at least not yet. You have to wait. I have to wait for something intraday to show up in order for me to take a trade on it. Because if nothing appears intraday, if there is no clue for me to go off of, then it might just follow the overall market, and the market is weak right now. So we could see a massive gap just to see a huge red candle down. So be very cautious. If you bought calls on this one, the calls were outrageously expensive. I believe the at the money calls were like $1,200. So those at the money calls should be up like 150%. And I'm assuming these individuals who took that risk would want to take their money off the table, especially if they see the slightest hint of red. Like if they see the first 5-minute candle be red, where we see something like that, where it drops all the way down to like 380. Again, this is a $10 premium. If it opens up at 390, right, and people start seeing red, they wouldn't want to risk that much premium on the contracts, which would cause a psychological panic, right? So just try to put yourself in the mind of the people who are here. Then things starts to make more sense. What would you do if the contracts, the very expensive contracts, you were lucky enough to have this run right here? What would you do if you just see a massive red candle with big volume and the overall market is looking kind of sus and looking kind of weak and vulnerable? You'll probably want to take some money off the table. So I'm leaning more bearish at the open than I am bullish. And plus, there's a lot of other stocks that are looking better and yeah, they're just looking better at the moment compared to Netflix. All right, so that's my honest thoughts on the stocks. We're going to do an updates on the stocks that I've mentioned a while ago, weeks ago. BBY. All right. Now BBY, I told you guys, I shared with you guys the fallen wedge right here, and I told y'all it could go straight up, which is what most longs want, right? The people who bought here, or it could play games and go here, here, then zigzag all the way before going higher. Right now, it's looking very vulnerable. The fallen wedge is not my favorite. Again, if you've been subscribed to this channel, you know what my favorites are. And it's not the fallen wedge. The fallen wedge is like the last resort for me that I would want to trade. All right. But with this one, if it opens up lower, there probably would be panic. There would be. Like if $70.20 doesn't hold tomorrow, then it's probably gonna it's most likely going to drop to $68 and continue to play this ridiculous game that I don't like. So that's the update on that one. There was one stock that showed a lot of strength, McDonald's. McDonald's moved completely opposite to everything else. I don't know exactly what's going to happen with this one. It's looking like a double bottom right here. It's looking like a double bottom on the daily charts. And we got the next one right here from the 4-hour chart, right? So that's how it's looking. Tomorrow, if it decides to follow the markets, the worst it would do is drop and retest the neckline at 251 before potentially bouncing higher until Friday. That's what I'm seeing. That's like the first thing that's coming up to my mind right now with this one. I'm only addressing it because it's just an outlier compared to everything else that I've mentioned. All right, so that's pretty much my very honest opinions on all of these stocks, and that's the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button as always. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Again, to get all of this information in real time as I see it, you can join the Discord by clicking on the first link in the description of the video below. All right. Also, if you haven't followed me on social media, you can find me at NGumah at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on Twitter. And lastly, if all of this is brand new to you, if you're interested in getting started in the stock market, there's some basic step-by-step directions in the description of the video below. Step 1, step 3. It only takes about 10 to 15 minutes for you to have all the tools you need to start trading immediately. You can also get some free stocks after signing up with Webull using the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is NGumah for Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.